You know, KG, you know me, I've got my ear on the ground. If one of our players even goes somewhere, I already know before they come to me that somebody's approached them. I knew for a fact that many clubs had approached you. Some spoke to me, and when they didn't get me to agree, they obviously went behind my back to you, your dad. But those clubs that came to you, what was it like? I mean, obviously, you know, when somebody puts money on the table, when they promise you cars and houses, people can get tempted. What was it like for you and your family? KG, it's great to see you. Joga bonito? Hey, the Joga is there now. Yes, Brazil?
Coach. Brazilian coach.
You always wanted to be called Joga bonito, yes, playing beautiful football. You're just back now from Brazil, having been to Portugal, yes, experiencing some quality football there and some good development. Yes, what is it like now to have just signed for Fluminense, a club that has been in the World Club Championship, the club that has produced some exciting players that we've now seen go to clubs like Chelsea. Yes, what is it like?
Coach, it's very exciting, coach, because also, coach, Pele and them, they played in Maracana Stadium. So, coach, I want to see myself there playing in Maracana Stadium soon, coach. So, yes, coach, and I'm not there to stay, coach. My dream is to play in Europe, to play for Real Madrid. So, I'm not yet there to stay. So, I'm going there to work hard, coach. Wow. But I'm very excited about this thing, coach.
Always remembering the process, eh?
Process, coach.
When Mr. Nadim arranged for you to go to Portugal, okay, you went to an academy. What was that academy called?
FC Famalicão.
Famalicão. I saw the pictures of what you did there, the training, something else, right? Yes. And then obviously there was, I think it was Porto that also showed an interest at the time to come. What made you choose, after coming back to represent the under-20s, you know, in the CAF tournament, what made you choose Brazil?
Coach, to be honest, I think, coach, I believe in my football coach. So I think my football coach is similar to Vinicius and them, coach. I know they have their own journey, but I think if I start first in Brazil like them, then Porto and them, then they can buy me from Brazil. I think it's the better way, coach.
So the way I see it is like Stars of Africa laid the foundation.
The foundation, coach.
Now you're going to the next level,
yes, coach,
to go into an academy that exports players to Europe.
Yes, coach.
So you want to go through that process. Again, we're mentioning process. So you don't want to jump anything.
Yes,
you want to go through the whole process. But by the time you get to the age of 2021, you want to now be that player that's sought after.
Yes, coach.
Just to highlight, KG, what you're saying, I have had a lot of interaction with the Brazilian Football Association in the past. I studied at the Brazilian Academy as early as 1992. Myself, James Mabena, Mike Ntombela, Junaid Mal, we were the first four South Africans that set foot into that academy. And I think it was really an eye-opener for us to understand what made Brazil as powerful. At that time, they just won the World Cup 3 times. They went on to win it 2 more times. But what we learned from them, there's a great similarity between Brazilian football and South African football as far as player development, as far as physiological makeup is concerned. You very seldom find 6, 7-footers in Brazil. So I think it suited us to go and study in a country where we were able to use the methodology to develop our own homegrown talent. That is what I think attracted me to Brazil, KG. You know, having been there, having interacted with the likes of Carlos Alberto Pereira, Zagallo, Didi, all of these greats, we were blessed to have Professor Neto make them available to us. And all we did is, we were like a sponge. We just soaked in all the knowledge. Similar to what I say to you guys daily. You come here not to just be a footballer. Tefo Mashamati once said on TV, when I went to Stars, I went to the University of Football. For us, we think of ourselves as not just an academy, but an institution of learning. How do you feel about that? Do you agree with that?
I agree, coach.
So you learned a lot?
A lot, coach. You taught me a lot, coach. Not only football, but outside life, coach. Yes, coach. You remember, coach, I used to go with Zuma, coach.
Yes,
coach. I don't want to mention it, coach, but yes, coach, you've taught me a lot, coach. And I left those things and I focused on my career, coach, only football, coach.
So the life skills helped you. Yes, I mean, I'm very firm, you know, I'm very strict, but I do it out of love. And I think you guys as players realize that because, you know, football is not an easy journey. KG, you know, we always interacted well. I think our relationship started very early when you used to train with Coach Ike, and then you trained with Coach Rafiq as well. Those guys basically were the ones that started the foundation.
Yes, coach.
And then later on, I think, how old were you when you came over to the first team? I think
First
you were
team.
13 or
13, coach.
13.
Yes, coach.
Yeah. So you came at 13. What was it like, during the time? Obviously, with the two coaches, it was more at a level where you were dominating. I mean, if I look at the videos of you playing, I mean, you used to basically go through people like they were dribbling sticks, right? Yes. Obviously, coming to me, it was a bit more difficult because now you came up against players that were physically stronger and technically gifted. Which of the players do you remember that you started with that went on? Was it players like Juninho Palace? Was he still there now?
No, coach. Tito also, coach.
Tito was still there.
Tito, Sean, Chipa.
I think Sishi as well.
Sishi, yes, coach.
Who's now at Stellenbosch. So you came up against some good. What was it like, being with them? How did they accept you? How did they welcome you, as a youngster now? Because now you're not just coming there to fill numbers. You're coming there to make your mark.
Coach, they've welcomed me well, coach, because when I was playing there by under 9s, under 10, coach, they used to come and look at me and chase it. And you see, KG score. You see, they loved me a lot, coach. So I think when I came to first team, they knew that I think Coach Farouk is going to bring him to first team. So yes, coach, they welcomed me well. But Sishi, coach, Sishi, his welcome is to chop you, coach. Is to kick you. Yeah. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. It's the way he welcomes you, coach. Yeah, so coach, I've learned a lot through them also, coach. So yeah, coach.
So they also taught you the reality of the game, that you're gonna be kicked in the game of football, especially when you're as skillful as KG.
Yes, coach.
And what you're saying rings a bell because now with our youngsters coming through, the 12s now, the Mpos, the Bochis, they also get that fans from the senior players. So the support structure
and they
is
used to protect me, coach. Maybe they can say, KG, don't be scared, first them. Us will protect you, you see, coach. Those things, coach, they encouraged me a lot, coach, you see, coach.
Obviously when you came in, you were traveling. Your dad brought you through. Your dad was also a coach at the academy. Your brother was also there at the time. And you played through the different age groups. But then you got the scholarship. How did you feel when you got a scholarship? Because it was now a case of you getting taken in. You had to pay nothing, whereas others may have had to pay. How did you feel getting this free scholarship where you got your football, your education, you got your training? How was that to you?
Coach, to be honest, coach, going to clubhouse, coach, that was my dream, coach. I've been telling my father to go to clubhouse. Me, I'm tired of these taxis, like traveling, coach, you see, because I go to school, then I need to travel to Stars, then I come back maybe around 8, so I need to sleep again, coach, you see. I need to do my homework, you see, coach. So, coach, it was very tiring, coach. But since I've came to clubhouse, coach, my life went more easier, you see, coach. So, like, I go to school, we eat, then we go to training, then we have more time because we come back, because we train nearby, it's near, coach. It's close to, it's not far, maybe 5 minutes, coach. So maybe we come back around 6, so you see, coach. Then I can do my homeworks. Then now I can sleep. So it makes
things easier. Even though you trained more, because you trained morning, you trained afternoon. So, but because you were in-house, it was easier. The traveling time was taken away. Casey, when we were still playing in the SAB, and then Coach Raf got an invite from Pirates to come, and I discussed it with you, as I always do. I said, guys, we don't have an under-21 team because all our players are under 19, more or less. Yes, most of them are. You guys were like 15. A couple of you were like 15 and 16. What was it like when you heard the news? Did it intimidate you knowing this is a prestigious cup where you're going to have some of the best clubs from around the country coming to play? And obviously there was big prize money for us. 50,000 was like very, very attractive. Academy doesn't get sponsorship. Now we're seeing this opportunity which can assist. How did you guys feel as players?
Coach, me, to be honest, coach, I was young that time. So, coach, I didn't think about more like we're going to play Pirates and them and we're going there for man. Me, I just became here because I'm going for a tournament. Tournament, we play 2 games, 3 games a day. So, obviously, as young players, we enjoy that, coach. Not playing 1 game, then you go home. So I was happy that we're going to play 3 games, 2 games. I'm going there to enjoy myself. Then, coach, then we won it, coach. And I trusted my team, coach, that we're going to win it, this one, coach. But we didn't go there in intention of, like, winning. We went there to enjoy ourselves. Yes, coach.
Is that the enjoyment that carried you through? Because remember, you had many injuries. We had players, at least 5 players were, like, running on empty. But what kept them going? Was it that enjoyment, that desire? What was it amongst you? Because you guys have your own little, I talk to you, then I see you guys have your own little meeting there. What was it like?
Coach, to be honest, coach, we can't train January. Then, I'm making an example, coach. December is that we're playing a tournament in December.
Right.
We can't train January, then we lose December, coach. Coach.
Doesn't make
So that work, coach, you see,
All that
that work,
sacrifice.
all that sacrifice, coach, we did it for
You guys
nothing.
took it serious when I said
Yes.
what you put in, somebody must pay at
Yes,
the
coach.
weekend.
So we took it in our minds. Chance, you can't lose this thing, coach. I know we're going there to enjoy, but still we need to win. You see, so coach, we went there to win also, coach.
And our tactics were spot on.
Spot on, coach.
We knew exactly what to
Yes,
do.
coach.
And the guys carried it through.
Yes, coach.
KG, we obviously have a program that runs for the entire year. You know, so our preparation starts when you guys start in January and it finishes in December. What was different for this tournament? Did we do anything special or did we just continue? I know we played in the SAB.
Yes, coach.
Was there something besides the fact that we did a lot on regeneration, our icing, our classroom sessions? But besides that, what did we do to prepare?
I think, coach, Stars, coach, is not about preparing for tournaments, coach. They prepare you for a higher level when you go, coach. So that for that tournament, we didn't prepare a lot. We prepared for SAB. So you just told us a week before that we're playing Pirates Cup next week. So we need to prepare. We didn't prepare. We continued where we left off. You see, coach.
So in other words, we're constantly preparing for these.
Yes, coach.
So there's nothing special. We keep ourselves. You think we're like commandos. When we're called upon, we go to battle.
Yes, coach. Yes, coach.
You know, KG, you know me, I've got my ear on the ground. If one of our players even goes somewhere, I already know before they come to me that somebody's approached them. I knew for a fact that many clubs had approached you. Some spoke to me, and when they didn't get me to agree, they obviously went behind my back to you, your dad. But those clubs that came to you, what was it like? I mean, obviously, you know, when somebody puts money on the table, when they promise you cars and houses, people can get tempted. What was it like for you and your family?
Coach, obviously you, coach, you know, they came to you. But on my side, coach, they came to our house, coach. Then they said, if you sign with this team, we can give you this amount of money, those things, you see, coach. But I told my father also, it's not about money. It's where I want to play, you see, coach. And you said, if you become loyal to where you come from,
Don't forget your
yes,
roots,
coach. Yes, coach. Don't forget where you come from. So, coach, I became loyal because I knew what you can do with me, coach. Because I've seen, it's not like you're going to start with me. I've seen you doing it. Players like May Mashangu, big players, coach. Luther Singh, yes, coach. Most of them, Tito Masangwan, most of them, coach. So, yeah, I told myself my aim is to play in Europe. That's all, coach.
So in other words, the skills we spoke about, loyalty. I always tell you, akhlaq in Arabic means you must always have that respect. That those are important things. I think Stars is built on that. We just don't teach football. We teach people the skills and the qualities that make, firstly, a good human being and ultimately a good footballer. So you subscribe to that. Look, KG, you made a huge impact when you were called upon for the under-20 national team. You were the only 17-year-old in that team. The majority, 99.9%, was made up of players that are playing PSL and other leagues, right? So obviously in that case, it was like for us, it was a huge surprise to get you being called up at this tender age because you still qualify for under-17s. So you played in that, you came on against Nigeria, you played very well, but then you didn't get called for the final squad to the FIFA World Cup. When I heard it, I was a little disappointed, but I wasn't as disappointed as somebody who said I expected it to happen because I realized the reasoning behind it, my own understanding. What was it like for you?
Coach, to be honest, coach, I was hurt, but at the same time, I told myself, no, you can't win all the battles in life, coach. So it's a step for me, coach. I need to go back in Brazil and work more harder, coach, and aim for Bafana, coach. I think that's what encouraged me, coach. You see, coach. Yes, coach. I want to see myself, like in my mind, I just told myself I want to see myself playing Maracana Stadium, coach. Always say yes, coach.
Well, I know you're going to play in lots more stadiums than Maracana. You'll play in Wembley and all. I'm confident. But I think the stories I related to you about May, never playing national under-17, never playing national under-20, playing for Bafana, Tokelo Ranti, Tefu Mashamaiti, Skuru, all of these guys. Sometimes I think, you're not maybe lucky enough to get called up. I mean, coaches have their choices and we should respect it. So for you, basically, it was just a case of, I wasn't selected, but I'm going to be good enough to play for the national team one day. I'm going to ask you a question, and I know the second one obviously I know who you're going to say, but I want you to think about it. Which is the player that influenced you as a future star in the making?
Outside Stars, coach, Neymar, coach.
Neymar, yeah,
Yes,
you
coach. I
always
really like Neymar, coach. Neymar, coach, is my role model. I don't like coach.
And your similarities
Yes,
are
coach. Like even when before I sleep, coach, like I can watch his videos, coach, 10 times. Even though I know them, I think, coach, I know his videos, all of them, coach.
You
now,
know it
coach.
backwards,
Yes,
right?
coach. But still, coach, I still watch them, coach. So that maybe you see, maybe today when I go to train, coach, I'm gonna watch that video, coach. Then I'll try to implement it in the field, coach. It helps me a lot, also, coach. You see, yes, coach.
And in Stars, which player?
In Stars, coach, Luther C, to be honest, coach. Luther, coach.
Also very similar. You're mentioning two players that have what you have, which is speed and skill. You know, you guys take players on, you can finish well, you've got a good footballing brain. And as for a coach, but don't say me now, please.
Coach, it's you, coach.
No, but you must not say, I know the impact I have on your life. But other than me, which other coach, let's put it that way, has inspired you?
Coach Ike also, coach. Coach Raf, coach. Both, coach. Yes, coach.
I think it makes sense because that was your foundation. Yeah. And I think they come from the same mentality and philosophy. They follow the Stars philosophy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you've been blessed to have those people in your lives, and they have been blessed to have you. So I think it's a very good blessing that came from the Almighty. Because you have always taught you guys to always plan and to have a diary of sorts, to write in your goals, to write down every day what you did in training, what you need to do, and every other thing that is related to your career. You know, you've now signed a 3-year contract at Fluminense. Fluminense, in my opinion, is amongst the best academies in the world, comparable to some of the best in Europe. And I say this with due respect in that the players they've produced have now proven themselves in Europe. I'm not just talking about Chelsea. I'm talking about across the board. We only know about Chelsea because, you know, they're the team that's standing out lately. What is your short, medium, and long-term goals? Because obviously they've got a program, but how do you see yourself fitting into that program? Because you're going to have challenges. Yes, language, I see you started to speak some Portuguese, so that's a language I'm sure you want to learn. There's obviously other things that you have to plan on a short-term basis. Maybe let's say for the next 6 months, what do you see yourselves? And then maybe you can elaborate on further down the line, because to be able to tell us what you're going to do in 2 years is impossible. But let's say for the next 6 months, what is your plan?
Coach, my plan, coach, in the next six months, no, coach, to win as coach is to be an important player in first team, coach.
To get into that first team.
Not just being a player, coach, like an important
to make your mark.
Make a mark also, coach. Yes, coach.
And you see that happening because you've been there now. You've trained.
I've been there, coach. Yes, coach.
No, that's good. Obviously, you got to put your head down now. You're leaving when you're leaving in a couple of weeks from now.
In 2 weeks, coach.
2 weeks time.
Yes, coach.
So we'll have 2 weeks with us at least before you go. We can't wait to hear the good news. We are behind you, even though we are in South Africa. We're constantly going to be keeping in contact with you. I think the youngsters in the academy are keeping their fingers crossed. The whole academy is behind you. You know, at this moment in time, even though we've produced many players, but today on everybody's lips at Stars of Africa, and I think in general, people want to see where KG is going to be moving forward. I'm very optimistic. I think in the next 2 years, you will be playing top-level football and maybe even going to Europe. I want to wish you all the best on behalf of Stars of Africa. Joga bonito. You always said play beautiful football, and I'm very confident that you're going to make South Africa proud, your family proud, and Stars of Africa. In that order. Good luck and God bless.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Muito obrigado.